We finally know why T.O.'s manager lied to me. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Are you okay? I think you hit me in my temple. I don't know. I like Luda. I didn't know this was a song.
That was so bad.
But I can rock with it. I can rock with it. Welcome to episode 3, Slam Balls and Elbow Brawls. I'm your host, Paulina Aguilar. You guys can find me on Twitter at _Paulina Aguilar and on Instagram at Paulina Aguilar. We've got a full house tonight.
What's up, guys? You can find me on Twitter at Jenna _Bussiere.
Hey guys, I'm Pam Gross, and you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Pamela Gross Jill.
What's going on, guys? David Christopher, and you can find me on Instagram, David Punkar Christopher, and Twitter at DPR Christopher.
All right, we've got a lot to talk about tonight. We've got feuds, punches, people leaving. It's a circus. What did you guys think about tonight's episode? There's a lot going on.
I feel like it just solidifies that this season is a complete mess. Like, people are leaving, people are not showing up to eliminations, no one really cares. The challenges look like my drunk cousins jumping around on a trampoline at a family party. It's all over the place.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you completely, Jen. You took the words out of my mouth.
Your drunk cousins too? They jump on trampolines
too, yes,
also?
Yes,
okay.
And uncles, and yeah. Shows what is going on. Like, people are leaving, people are just, it's like, it feels like this thing is just such a disaster, right in front of us.
Spiraling.
Yeah, it's just like every episode, someone else is just checking out.
What about you, Pam?
I agree. It feels like they had about 3 seconds to put this show together, and they were like, "Shit, what are we gonna do today? You call a trampoline place. You call see what comes out." And the stars are like, "Yeah, no thanks." That was the like most undramatic exit. I mean, it was dramatic because of their fight, but it was like, yeah, I don't think I want to be here. Like, that was it. There was no stay drama. No. There was a producer kind of fake trying to engage him for about a half second. She's like, "So what, you're ready to go? You just don't want to be here?" And
There's
he's
some drama.
Yep.
And she says, a little bit.
She's like, "You're really going to turn your back on this? You're going to give up on this? I mean, it's T.O. I'm sure he'll find things to do elsewhere."
Yeah.
Well, speaking of the guy, where we left off last week was T.O. and CT. We saw that showdown, and it finished up today. T.O. comes back. Producers talk to him, and they seem to be okay to get through that little process of volunteering. Ariane volunteers herself, which everybody kind of wanted her anyway because she had the lowest points. And then Emily, just to save a player, voted in Jenna. And then Jenna, unfortunately, had to go home.
Yeah, that was another, speaking of the sort of craptacularness of this episode, show, and season and everything. It was like, you can either have a competition or vote Jen in and not have a competition. It's like, there was zero tension in that. Like, why don't we not eliminate someone then? That was so, like, what are they gonna do, That was silly.
Really
I was like,
pulling some teeth there to make some drama. Exactly like you said.
Didn't one of you guys call that last week? So I swear, like, when you guys said that, like, that's what's going to happen. I think you might have said that.
No, I remember saying something along those lines, but I can't even remember exactly what my own words were.
Well, I think it was obvious that Emily was going to choose Jenna just to save a player. But I think that if it was anybody else, say Bananas, he would have pulled the Bananas and said, "Okay, Anissa, just to get a match." Just that is what I'm saying. So I think it just depended on the person, and Emily's not that type of player.
Possibly, but at the same time, that whole champs team is so concerned about the fact that they're losing players, especially women left to right. Yeah, exactly. Then I don't think in that situation they would probably do the same thing as Emily. Again, I mean, it was spoon fed to them. What are you going to do? This is how it's worded. Are you going to save your team and not throw someone into elimination, or do you just want to risk it and let them go into elimination and go home?
The Miz likes to be dramatic.
Screw you in the end. Pick your poison.
Yeah. Also, even for Bananas, like, they're a team. Having one girl on the team, like, if Anissa were to lose, wouldn't serve them at all. So,
but you're right, Anissa would 100% be the person he threw in.
And there it is.
No doubt about that.
Let's talk about T.O. I finally figured out why his manager lied to me, because T.O. quit the show. That didn't even occur to me, actually. I had no idea that he had quit. that makes sense because why would you do a promo for a show that you quit?
Right.
You know that it all makes sense.
Yeah.
Are you surprised by that, or am I the only one that was blindsided that he left?
No, I mean, we knew that he didn't want to be there from the beginning. No. I mean, T.O.'s going to do what he wants to do, and he just said, I don't need this anymore. This is not MTV business. This is not what I signed up for, which is what we had the feeling of episode 1. Where, like, he clearly doesn't know what he just got himself into.
Yeah.
So it was only a matter of time.
Yeah, I agree. I was also blind. I didn't know that he was really going to leave. I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
But now it all totally makes sense because I've been trying to learn more about him and what he has to say about this, and crickets. Like, he has had no comments about the show, words about the show. So now it does make sense. And I have to say, I thought it was super weak that he left, like very lame of him, but also much more fun now because he was this dark cloud of just aggression and unpleasantness.
It's like negative, you know?
Yeah,
like
he was
negative
real
energy.
negative.
First of all, thank you to you viewers because you guys always keep us in the loop and tweeting and tagging, and we love that stuff. I got 2 messages from 2 different people with the same message and screenshotted I think this is Instagram. Someone had put under his comments, "Good job staying classy, T.O. You should have slapped the white off that boy." T.O. replied,
Wow, subtle.
and I'm going to quote this, "You guys have no idea. They, at MTV, are the worst production I've ever been a part of. That's why I got off the show. They edited the show to make it look like I had no respect for someone who was in the hospital when I know anyone from the team knew. I haven't and will not promote the show or the devils that run it as part of the production.
Ooh.
They were persistent to get me on the show after I declined 2 to 3 times, but they kept calling my boy, I think is his manager, months after to get me on the show, and they offered to pay me 2 to 3 times, and I declined." And then someone replied, "Bitch, CT would whoop your ass." So there's that.
Good.
So basically, T.O. just plain didn't want to be there. I don't want to, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I don't think anybody's going to say no to charity. I know it says that he said no initially, but I don't think anybody is that cold-hearted to it's not a charity. That clearly is the issue.
It really is just making more and more sense, the fact that he denied it twice. That just shows the fact, the way his negative attitude was portrayed on the shows, because he didn't want to be in the first place and he tried not to. But in his defense,
why not be there? So is it like the drama? Had he worked with MTV before and didn't like it? I don't know what initially would be like, hey, this is for charity. No, I'm not going to do it.
Right. I think ultimately that's the real loser in the end is the charity. That's why you're there. I mean, I understand if you have your personal issues and you don't want to be there, fine. But the point is you committed to be there, and it's for something bigger than you, man. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, like, you're doing this to help someone. Just put that stuff aside and just think of the bigger picture. You know? So that's kind of disappointing.
In a way, to prevent more toxic situations in a show that's for charity, why not leave? Like, I'm okay with him leaving. Whatever. He didn't want to be there. Just leave.
Yeah, but then don't commit in the first place, Because then, I mean, this situation happens, and that sucks because then the charity actually is the one that really loses in the end. That sucks.
Well, it's better than allowing a physical fight to happen.
True.
Getting into it with CT, which a lot of people are saying he should have hit CT. I mean, I don't know about that, but Riff Raff came on there in his confessional. He's like, "Oh, I would have hit him." Well, all right, Riff Raff.
Right. I would like to see Riff Raff
need more of him.
do something
the whole time.
Yeah, but I feel like that comment, I think his departure couldn't have been less classy. It wasn't. We MTV viewers, we understand it's slightly manipulated. I don't think anyone thought he was making fun of someone in the hospital.
No.
That's not.
You know what? It didn't look like that at first.
You could sort of infer that he was being insensitive to the fact that someone was in the hospital by making fun of them. But he was just sort of making fun of them for whining. CT again clarified, we're not whining about losing, we're asking for clarification. When we don't have an even team, what's going to happen? And he's getting involved. But second, if he issued a statement saying, I left for creative differences, I was playing for charity. It really wasn't for me. I apologize to the fans. I am going to be donating $10,000 to the charity I was playing for. That would have been classy. Like, I'm sorry if I let that charity down. And again, we had our creative different. That would have been classy. This didn't work
And
out.
you know what? We don't know if he did. You read my mind. What if he wrote? He can go and write a check if he really wanted to.
I bet he would publicize it if he did. I bet that was the time, that response, these devils, and, I wanted to, they made me look bad.
Do you think he did this on purpose, though? Like, do you think that he really didn't want to get on the show? They got him on the show, and then he found a way to leave?
No, I think that he signed up and said, okay, fine, you know what, you're gonna keep coming after me, I'll do it for charity, save face, promote my image, do something good. Once he got on, he realized, yeah, hell no, it's not for me.
Right.
And then he just peaced out and left because, as he said on the show, what does he have to prove? That's his attitude. He doesn't care about what anybody thinks about him. He's had his fantastic NFL career. That's kind of what's important to him. And reality TV is not in his
Well,
business.
what do you think his next show is going to be? I mean, he's doing show after show, apparently. I mean, majority
Seems to
of
like
the time,
Dancing with the Stars.
I guess, majority of the time, these athletes go into broadcast.
Yeah.
That's true, yeah.
And he has it.
I think, truth be told, so this, even compared to the regular season of The Challenge, is kind of a shit show. Like, it's not as well organized. There's not the production budget. It doesn't seem as well thought out. The structure is not there. I do think because they came at him so hard to be a part of it, he thought he'd get a little more, like that there'd be maybe a little more fanfare or more respect or more, elegance. And it's not. It's a little spin-off of an MTV reality show. And I think he had the options to either lighten up and roll with it, which apparently is not in his nature, or respond the way he did. From what the fight was indicating and from what we saw, he didn't want, the second he got there, was like, nah, dude, this is not right for me, which then he could have been a little cooler about bowing out or whatever. I'm not super familiar with him, and my impression from watching this is that he's just a real jerk with a chip on his shoulder. And even as a sportscaster, he doesn't seem charming at all. Like what you were saying last week is that he always talked, that's sort of his personality, like a bananas.
At least, like, charismatic, to say the least, no matter if you agree with what he was saying.
This just seemed like a little
always
brat with a chip on his shoulder. Everything he did seemed like overly aggressive, and I did not feel like it was a classy move, or that his behavior was classy throughout any of it.
It's just a bad look all around.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
Even as a viewer, like if you'd never heard of him or you don't know who he is at all, and you were just to watch his show for the first time, to see him for the first time, I mean, I would be like, dude, this guy's an a-hole. Like, who is
Right.
He shouldn't have gone on.
Right. It was just,
He shouldn't have gone
Long
on.
story short.
He shouldn't have gone on.
His manager's in trouble.
Yeah, that's why he dodged you.
Yeah.
He should have stuck to
Right,
their
he's like, no, I
guns.
ain't doing no show
Seriously.
for you. Okay, let's move on to some slam ball, which was pretty intense. Romeo got a little sensitive a couple times here. I mean, come on, this guy was just like, so he played basketball at UC, if you guys don't know. I didn't follow him playing basketball.
That completely put me on a mind trip. I did not realize that.
Yeah, I don't know anything about his stats. I don't know how many years he played. No. But he, I guess, was trying to, the best player's gonna guard me, and he took a lot of pride in
I know
himself as being a basketball
basketball.
player, and that's all fine. I think everybody does it in their hobby, in their trade. So, but his teammates didn't seem to think so.
Yeah, so he kind of got a little butthurt about that.
did.
Yeah, he did. He was a little offended.
Was he overreacting?
I believe he was overreacting. Yes, definitely. I mean, there's an ego there. You know what I mean? And obviously, his pride was a little wounded. And then overall in the game, as the big talk that he was talking to see his performance, I was a little like, man, dude, like, talked a big game, like you didn't do that
Too much. Nope,
Yeah,
he did
so
not.
it's a little disappointing, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, this challenge was fun, I guess. It was just like every 8-year-old's birthday party you've ever been to. I mean,
Yeah, totally.
That's perfect.
I just went to one. Yeah, for a first grader.
it's competitive, I guess. They seem to take it way too seriously at points, with Zach calling out that the whistle was blown and didn't you hear the whistle? And then him and Josh kind of get into it. Like, everything seemed a little bit blown out of proportion, and then Romeo getting oversensitive before the game even started, saying, this is basketball, this is what we're going to do. I mean, it's trampoline, it's a smaller ball. I get what he's saying. He wants to put his skill sets out there and make sure people know what he can do. But yeah, guys, like, this is not that serious.
Right.
It wasn't even, I got a little bored sometimes
I was just
watching.
gonna say that. I'm just gonna go out there and say, yeah, I was bored. This was boring. It was boring. I mean,
The
it
elbow
was.
made it exciting, and him being sensitive made it exciting.
That's
The
about it.
challenges
That's about it.
itself, have not been good since the first episode. It's the drama that comes along with it is what makes it exciting.
The best part was Michelle, the UFC
She's a
fighter's
little bold, man.
split jump. The
was
split
awesome.
jump she did, I don't know, I think CT or somebody was trying to inbound the ball, and she's just jumping up like a jumping being, and then hits this, like, what are they called in cheerleading?
I don't know.
I don't know. But
What
it was,
a split jump, and it was hysterical and amazing at the same
Well,
time.
CT was
Good
like, yeah, I'm
job,
gonna remember you in
Michelle.
the morning. Like,
She was feisty.
Hey, but that
She
was smart
sick.
because if I can't shoot a ball, I'm just gonna hit people so
Yeah.
that they can't. I mean, it's
Right.
perfect.
right.
And Riff Raff has game. He got a little bit of game in
he
there.
actually did, yeah, he did pretty
Matt
well.
had game.
Yeah.
Riff Raff was
Zach
balling
was
a little
good.
bit.
Riff Raff was
Who else?
good. Zach was good. You know.
Romeo, man.
Can we talk about the elbow to
Yes.
the temple? Do you guys think it was intentional?
Yes, I do.
I completely
Yes.
believe it was intentional because,
Yes.
dude, there's no reason why you're gonna just go, boom, boom. You know what I mean? There's no reason for that. It was like directly. That's not an
Yeah.
accident, you know. And then on top of that, like, what got me is the fact that like Romeo was so upset about it, but he did nothing at the time that it happened. He waited, like,
Because
kinda
nobody
stayed
called
quiet.
anything, though.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're really that upset, like, I know if I believe someone deliberately just elbowed me and I hit the ground, like, I'm getting
He died.
furious,
Well, because
you know?
he
like-
died for a second. He needed to wake up and regather himself. That was my favorite
Yeah,
because
but then-
honestly, I was thinking that the whole time. So then when he called himself out for it, like, yes, that was hysterical. He got elbowed and just
That's
died.
literally that is
Right.
what he
Like,
did.
that was
but then,
it. He was
but then,
out.
he got his bodyguard. Like, come on,
bouncer?
dude. Like, really?
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna go get my big brother. Like,
Yeah.
That was
You
a
know,
weak
like,
move.
come
Like
on,
if
dude,
you
like-
again for charity, this TV show where cameras are all around, producers are all around, why couldn't you've just said something yourself? You got to
Exactly.
know that it looks really sad on your part to now go recruit a guy 5 times the size of everybody there, your bodyguard, to have some words said. Come
Yeah,
on, Romeo. I thought you wanted more street cred than that.
Yeah.
What you should do is if someone does that, you just go get them back in the game. If nobody's calling a foul, nobody's taking you out, nobody's watching the play, no one's
Exactly.
fixing it, you go elbow them. Well, I mean, no elbow, but you get back at them in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I
absolutely.
mean, that's how I always thought it was.
Well, that's why he said he wanted to go into
Yeah.
elimination. But oh, Zach, that's so cute
And
of you to try and play
to
dumb
give-
and
to give the
pretend that you didn't do
opposition-
it on purpose.
What, I'm sorry?
Well, to give the opposition to that, I do think though that like when you're playing, his tempo is like yes, he went like that, but you're moving. I think that
Okay.
she said it right. Like you're jumping
Like,
around,
if you're right
flailing
here-
on a
You saw,
trampoline.
okay, wait, you
here-
saw the tape, right?
I did.
Both sides, the back and front. You still think that was an accident?
I don't think that the gesture was an accident. I think
Okay,
he,
that's
but
what
I
I
don't think
thought
he
that
was
you meant.
aware that his head placement was exactly
Oh,
where
he knew.
Really?
He knew. He did that on purpose. He did that little smile at the end. I don't know. I just
Really?
He
I
did that on
believe so.
purpose.
Really? Okay.
Look, they
That's pretty
were. They
aggressive.
weren't near the ball. He wasn't reaching for the ball. Somebody else was shooting it, and they were on the rebound, and he went boom and knocked him out on the head.
I think how hard it was and how wide his bow was just shows
He's
that
a
it
big guy.
Yeah.
Romeo's a little dude. He
Right.
happens to be the perfect height. That's happened to me before. A tall girl just went boom, and it was like the perfect center on my forehead. Okay, it happened.
Wait, here, so your temple's
Did you do
so
the
right
same
It was
thing
here.
Paulina?
So
No,
right here.
I was at work actually, and he didn't know I was behind him, but he just
man.
accidentally elbowed me in the head.
Bone in the
But
face at work.
it's just-
Jeez.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a busy Friday night. I was waitressing.
Oh man.
But
See, it can
it,
happen
it was
unintentionally.
yeah, but that was so on purpose. And you know what I loved, and it was probably the best decision to make was Wes covering for him.
Yes.
Because had
Yeah.
Wes not stepped in, that bodyguard would have pushed it, and Romeo would have pushed it, and Zach, all he could say was, no, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. It
Right.
was.
Where-
And Wes saved his ass.
Yes, totally. Like Wes MVP, but where did those bodyguards come from? Like,
Yeah,
are they
they were
just
out
hanging
of
out in the
nowhere,
room?
like-
Wait, like Romeo's got an issue. Like, calm
That's
down.
exactly what
That
happened.
is so funny. He's like, I want to see the tape. There's like all of a sudden a posse around, like, and Zach. God bless Zach, because he is like a 4th grader, even saying goodbye to Jenna in the beginning when she's leaving and she's like, yeah, I have to have surgery. He's like, well, bye. Like,
Yeah.
he is so, it is like a fourth grader that's like, go apologize or hug your grandma, that has to like do something serious and is like, no, it was, he like cowered when he was being confronted and seemed like a little boy. He was like, it wasn't on purpose. Like, it was so silly and lame.
I feel like the apology just seemed a little fraudulent to me as well.
Yeah,
That's
it
why I was
was
kind of
not
like,
genuine.
this is so fake.
Yeah, it was not genuine at all. And I think it was more of like,
Not that I ever thought it was.
he just had smirks on his face.
Unintentional.
I almost feel like he kind of lost a little respect for Romeo, to be honest, like when that happened. At least from my impression.
Probably.
Just his expressions in his face. I don't know. It's
Romeo
weird,
was
like-
a little melodramatic. I mean,
Yeah.
Well, the one thing that they showed, unless they edited this part out, is that when they showed him the play, they showed the camera from behind.
Yeah, they
They
should've-
didn't show the camera from the front, and I don't know if that was on purpose either. Because if you look at it from the front,
Looks way different.
Yeah.
I thought the same exact thing. They really should have showed it from that aerial view that we got, because
Yep.
that way you see that it looks like way too perfect
Right, it was
for
just
that
like,
to be.
You know, it's
Exactly.
What are our viewers think?
You know
What do
what
you
it
guys think? Do you think
reminded
it was on
me of?
purpose?
It reminded me of an NBA game. You know when like someone fouls and you're just like, oh my god, and you're so
Overdramatic.
dramatic and you're
You
just
just fall.
You're like, you fouled me and blah blah blah. You know, or in soccer that happens to you. That's exactly what it was. Oops, my elbow hit his face.
Right. I do want to know that. I want to know what our viewers think. What do you guys think? Do you think it was intentional or an accident? Let us
Yes,
know.
tweet us.
Yes.
Let us know what you think. Okay, and then it's so unfortunate. Throughout the season this season, Ashley's dad has had some health problems, and in this episode, he unfortunately passes away.
No,
And it's-
I don't think he passes away. I
She
think he-
she posted a picture that says R.I.P. Dad. Hashtag.
Okay.
Hashtag R.I.P. Dad. So our condolences to you, Ashley, from here at AfterBuzz. We love watching you on the show, but we also, want outside of the show to do well and just hope that you and your family is okay. It is sad. You don't want to go out on that.
And to have that happen on television
yeah,
is so terrible. And
it was awful. And and it started off that he was making a turn for the better, so it's all the more upsetting. So, thoughts are with you, Ashley.
And Zach was nice enough to donate his MVP winnings to her charity, which is Prevent Child Abuse America.
it was a really nice move.
Yeah, we saw that last season as well, and some people donated to others. So, does Ashley come back to next season? I know we saw the trailer, and I know you guys did too. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but I don't know if we saw.
I don't
her.
remember seeing her. No.
So maybe she took off. Maybe she took a little break, which
I mean, it makes you
Deserves.
go back to Dirty 30 as well when she left on that first or second episode when she was hysterically crying. Because if she left at that point, I wonder what was going on in her life then for her to prolong going home so late in this situation where she
Yeah.
knew that her father was so sick and kind of on life support and didn't know if she was going to have to pull the plug or not. And to wait until she really had to go home makes you think, wow, what happened on Dirty 30 then? The first episode when she left in hysterics.
She didn't have her
So I don't
socks.
know.
it's very unfortunate. But we hope you're doing well. On a happier note, or a funnier note in this case, is that Riff and Romeo start volunteering to go into elimination, which is so stupid. Like, maybe you guys haven't watched the show or not, but you don't volunteer yourself.
That's like
know
the
what?
thing
It's a
right now,
pride
like,
thing,
yeah.
and these stars have no idea.
Well, they want to show what they got. That's why. They're not on this season time and time and realize how political it gets and how people make... I mean, they're on it for 1 year, so the alliances and throwing themselves in, I guess, doesn't matter as much to them. But Riff Raff is trying so hard to get in there. Everybody's sleeping on Riff Raff. Maybe this means he's got something to prove. I mean, we saw him ball out on the
But
basketball
he's been
game.
doing good.
Yeah, he has,
Right.
he
So
has.
I kind of want to see him, but I feel like its production does not want to let that guy go. Or his team just has no faith in him winning and keeping guys on that squad.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a guy. I don't know on that one. That's a good one. Yeah, because I mean, obviously he's great TV. And then they just don't seem like they take him serious. Poor guy. Like, but I mean, I love watching him.
You see him getting more and more serious as the episodes go, I think, too. Like, he's starting to talk a little bit clearer.
Yeah.
He's not doing as much as slang or rapper kind of vocabulary. It looks like he's starting to say, I want to get in here. I want to prove myself.
Or he just wants to leave. That's my other theory. He's just ready to go because he's getting mad that he's not being put in. And I don't know that it's necessarily because he wants to show his athletic prowess.
Well, he can go to the pool parties he wants to still.
So, yeah,
So
that's
that's
allowed. Like
what-
you don't have to show up to elimination. Like what? Like,
Yeah.
that's okay.
These people don't seem to get it, the stars, that going in an elimination is not desirable. Like, you don't want that to happen. And they seem to be getting seriously pissed when they're not getting voted in.
Because they're all confident, egotistical guys
I
that are
guess.
saying, I want to show that I'm better than y'all.
But keep playing and win for your charity and hang out, you know.
Right.
I get it, but it's like the goal of the show is to not be eliminated, you know? So I don't...
Well, even if you don't understand that, you still show up to your damn elimination.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a little
He's
fucked
over it.
up. Come on.
Well,
Dude,
let's-
I'm partying.
He's got a
good luck,
sick
guys.
LA pool party to
I might
go
see
to,
you tomorrow.
man.
That's the con of it being filmed in LA, is that half of these guys live in LA, so
Right.
they can just
They're
go
like,
home and
"I
go
Right.
get their car.
I could go to a pool party with models or go see Romeo perform in an elimination that I wanted to be in.
But is there... So they're
What do
just
we take here?
allowed? There's no, like, you're on lockdown?
That's
or
why
like,
this season is in shambles.
Right.
There literally is like no real foundation, like, structure,
Contracts
like-
don't exist
Right.
this season, apparently, because everybody's breaking every single rule. I'm pretty sure they have to stay there at some point. You know, I mean, it's wrong for him to not be there. He's going to get a really, like, a lot of shit from his team when he comes back.
Yeah.
I hope he does.
He will.
Well,
Then I'm going
hey,
to throw you in.
I was gonna say, do you think maybe that's part of his plan? Maybe he thinks like they'll piss him off and they'll vote him in.
I don't know. It doesn't look like his team
I
cares too
don't
much
think
about him
he
at
would
this
think
point.
that far through. To be honest.
I don't know.
He thinks
I'm
that
giving
far
him too much
through.
credit.
We gotta work on getting Riff on this show.
Yeah.
It's pretty
Dude,
much
yes, riff raff.
fact of the matter. If we get
Everybody
any
else. Yes.
takeaway from here, we need to get him on.
Well, Romeo wins this round, and he volunteers, and so does his team, and he gets to go against Wes. This game looks pretty interesting, but I feel like Wes has the advantage because he's taller and has longer arms.
I also think he has the advantage because this is a ridiculous challenge. And Wes
Right.
has been in so many challenges
Right.
rather than Romeo, who might not know what he's getting into.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I think he has the advantage because he's Wes and he's done this like a ton of times, you know.
Right.
So definitely, you know, and not to discredit Little Romeo, but I just think, you know, being the veteran, I think Wes is gonna pull it out.
In typical Wes form, and we have to talk about the way, he's like, so I'm safe, right? As the safe person, I will volunteer. And then Banana says, like, you know, the thing about, like, God, it's like accepting a favor from a mafioso.
Yeah,
like,
I
you know
love
something.
that.
And it's true, because Wes says, like, so I'm getting good favor and all this stuff. But as we know, Wes, you never volunteer. That's what they don't get. I guess Wes wants to do it. I'm upset with the besties match, Wes and Romeo,
I
because I don't want either of
know.
them to go.
After this, I'm kind of sick of Romeo. Go home.
Oh, I like having that.
I like
around.
him.
Yeah.
I feel like he's a really cool person to be around, and he was excited for the first 2 episodes. And then after he got so sensitive and his ego, I'm just like, eh.
I
Yeah.
agree with you. On
I
that
don't
point,
even see you
I agree,
anymore.
I agree with you
Yeah,
on
well,
that.
that's why him and Wes get along. It's like it's both mafioso. Like I think Romeo during their deliberations was like, either you're with us or you're against
Yes.
us. Because she was like, you know, things happen. Like giving
little much.
Sean was giving maybe an explanation for why it could possibly Zach's elbow have been an accident. After he said, I've accepted that it's an accident, and he turned that around and said, you're with us or you're against us. And it's like,
Yeah.
that is very dramatic for...
I like seeing Romeo's
Yeah.
little flash of drama. in there.
Right, he is-
He's so subtle and then gets intense real quick.
Right, because I thought last week he had the right attitude. Who cares? We're here to party. And now it's like, I may be here to party, but don't cross me.
He seems very sensitive. Like,
Yeah.
Very sensitive.
So, or you're going to deal with Bubba, or whoever that was. And I don't want to deal with Bubba.
Definitely his
Bubba
name.
was
Well,
not messing
next-
He
around.
was wearing a name tag. That was for sure his
Bubba.
name.
Name tag. I think I was hoping it was going to be today, but maybe next week we'll finally see the replacement of Tori. It's official that she is one of the replacements, and so she will be coming on this season.
Hopefully.
So hopefully, I mean, the champs are what, 3-0? It's
Yeah,
not
'cause
like
they
they need a
haven't-
lot of help. So
They haven't
They're killing it.
previewed that at
Yeah.
all.
no, they haven't, but it was on Instagram.
Oh, it was?
Not Venmo. It was on Instagram, guys.
Oh, I'm excited to see a Tori-Emily friendship.
Yeah.
Hopefully that will blossom. Yeah, I think they're both like good competitors.
I mean, the playing field of this season is so different. So nothing is really going to be as it would any other season of
Right.
the challenges. For charity, they're kind of hanging out.
yeah.
Going to parties, pool parties.
Pool
right.
parties, if
Maybe they'll show
they
up.
so wish.
Well, on the real show, on the challenge seasons, you don't even have a phone. You're cut off from
Yeah.
the world. Here they're getting texts from teammates like, yo, not
Dude, they
making
got
it
bodyguards
tonight.
on set. Like,
Yeah, that's kind of.
Breaking down that fourth wall on TV.
Yeah.
Right.
Hell yeah. Okay, Pam, you got a game for us.
Okay, guys, got some questions for you. about tonight's episode. We're going to start off. The first question is...
What kind of game is this,
We'll
though?
start
What is
from this side.
no.
This is a what do you think / superlatives game.
Okay.
So we'll discuss...
This game is called What Do You Think?
What do you think?
Slash.
That's what it is. What do you think?
/
And tell us what you
superlatives.
guys think on Twitter,
Yes.
okay, with these questions
And
as well.
live,
live
chat.
chat.
Thank you guys for joining us. We want
Yes.
to hear what you think too.
And what do you think?
Starting with, what do you think was the best side-eye shade thrown moment of tonight's episode?
Oh, hands down the elbow. Hands down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mine was Kim during all the discussions about the elbow and everything else. She was just literally going like,
Faces.
like,
Okay, yeah.
oh, I don't think so. Yeah, so Kim is my vote for that.
Oh my gosh, I just had it and I can't remember. Paulina, you go.
That's all I can remember is the elbow.
Okay.
No, I had a really good one and I can't remember having brain blockage. Go to the next question. I'll come back to it.
Okay. So we're gonna put a pin in that one and go on to best team spirit, the best display of team spirit on this episode. Do you want to start that? Okay, go ahead.
Michelle?
Justina and
Oh,
Johnny
yeah,
dressing up
yeah.
as each other, trying to unite the two teams together.
Yep, I agree with you 100%. I think that worked, and that was great, and that was fun, and that's the way they should be. And I thought that this episode was starting out with great. That's the way we ought to all be with one another and have some fun. Didn't end up that way, but totally agree.
Agreed, yeah.
Okay.
That's, yeah.
Next
Yeah.
question.
All right.
Next question.
Next question. Brrr. Most cringe-worthy moment of the evening.
Cringe-worthy.
What do you guys
Was
think is the most
the,
cringeworthy moment?
Zach and Josh freak out about the whistle being blown during that challenge, during Slam Ball, because it was so like alpha dog versus alpha dog. No, like, I'm stronger, I'm better. Dude, the whistle was blown. Like, it just seemed like they lost their cool, and it was kind of embarrassing and cringeworthy to watch for me. Again, like, not that big of a deal.
I
And
agree.
Josh being all, well, I know you know me from The Bachelor, but I'm really tough, and I can be really strong.
Yep.
That sort of
fact that
thing.
he
It
has
was
to
kind of like,
justify- like,
oh,
he has to
yes,
say
you
that,
have to
that,
say
clarify
that.
it like
He
that.
technically, he said there's other things to know about me.
Oh, we know you think he's hot and you're a fan. Okay, all right.
Other guys
you're
on that
biased.
show are hot too.
Also,
I'm
he
just,
said-
Biased.
I'm just getting all the sides.
I'm with you. And then after that very cringeworthy moment, then in his, one-on-one, he was like, the rules are there are no rules. Like a fight club. It's like, oh, Josh.
Ew,
this
that's
is
so
sham.
gross.
Yeah, so embarrassing.
I agree
Like,
with yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like I'm
agree.
in the
That's
shade
it.
room.
so
Wait,
cringy.
so Zayas Lou in our group chat had a really good one. The whole
Okay.
Zach and Jenna thing was pretty cringeworthy.
Yes.
So awkward to watch. I feel like Jenna
Yes.
is crying less over her foot and the fact that
More
she has
over
to go
Zach.
home and get surgery, and more over the fact that she has to leave Zach because they're finally making amends, people, because he's forced to talk to her because they're on the show
Totally.
together.
It is, I've never felt more for Jenna than I do now. It is, she's like, hi, Zach. And even, it's so hard to watch because she is, and he's so not comforting. Like, anytime he can seize the opportunity to just even be a good friend, he's just so bad at it, and she loves him so much.
He doesn't
Yeah,
care.
It's just so hard
awkward.
to see.
Yeah.
Jenna.
All right, one more.
Okay. Okay. Best verbal burn of the show.
I didn't mean to insult your question. These are just
Burn.
hard. I need to know these going in to the episode.
Maybe Romeo. The only thing I have short-term memory loss, so the only thing I can think of at the top of my head is Romeo to Sean. You on my team or not? Because it
Okay.
was like totally out of nowhere. She wasn't even trying to play that game.
Okay, I think you guys forgot this one, but when I
Maybe.
say it, I think you'll all remember and hopefully
You probably
agree.
say what I'm thinking.
Oh, then go ahead. You
No,
say
no,
it
go
first.
ahead. I want to hear you. I want to hear it.
It is, well, every family has a Rob Kardashian. And
Oh,
I guess
yes.
Riff Raff is
So
ours. That
I
was
forgot
sounds
That's
great.
way
about
cooler.
that.
That's way cooler than one I was
The
thinking.
one
Yeah,
that
what
doesn't
were you
come
thinking?
around.
Just the bananas one about T.O. saying that they accomplished what every team couldn't accomplish.
Oh!
The NFL team to try to do.
That's a
got
really
rid of
good
them.
one. Also.
That
Yeah.
was a really,
Those
yes.
are two good ones.
That was a good one. I see it's hard to keep it all straight in your head.
And let us
Yeah.
know what you guys think by tweeting at us.
Yes, definitely.
And the last thing before we go is that the trailer of the new season, Vendettas, has came out today. And you guys, thank you for tagging us on Twitter so that we can see it as well. It did premiere during the show and the commercials. It looks pretty intense.
Yeah.
So basically, it's Rivals, but it's not called
Yeah.
Rivals.
Exactly.
I'm like, so
Well,
it's Rivals.
I like it like that,
5?
though. That's why we got the Johnny and the Sarah situation.
Right.
That's awesome.
No, I like it too. It is just funny that they're trying to pull out a new vocab word.
Well, do you
It's
think-
Rivals.
Well, they should. I don't want Rivals 14.
Do you think, though, that they have to be teammates with the person they have a
Yes.
vendetta against?
I think so.
See, I hope that they give it a spin and they're not, that they, like, get to try and have a vendetta again, like, that they get to try and do
go
something
against
to
them more often than not.
I don't know, but I would like it because then it would just be rivals if they're
Right.
teammates with their
It
vendetta
didn't really
person.
explain that side of the game on
Yeah.
the preview. But like you said, it does look really good. But all the teasers always look really good, so we'll have to see.
I saw Nicole and Cara making
Yes.
out. Brad is back. I
Brad's
need to know
back.
about him because he was getting handsy with Brittany. A lot going on.
You know what? I don't even care, honestly, about the scenario, how it's set up. I just am excited to start watching some real challenges again and some structure and
You
some
heard
damn
it.
good TV.
You heard it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Kayla's back.
Well-
We see that. Looks like she's getting snappy and getting
I
like
like
Yeah.
with people.
I'm a fan of her. Well, that show premieres January 2nd, right after the show ends. And until next week, I think that is all, folks. Oh, I should have known that. That's all, folks.
Hi, bud.
Where can everybody find you guys?
You can find me on Instagram at Christopher and Twitter at DPR Christopher.
And you can find me at Pamela Gross Chill on Instagram and Twitter. Thank you guys for joining us. We love hearing your comments and your feedback, so thank you.
Thank you, guys. You can find me on Twitter at Jenna_Bussiere.
And you guys can find me on Twitter at _Paulina Aguilar and on Instagram at Paulina Aguilar. And we'll see you guys next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.